Brian, unless you have any punctuation to put on this review of this program, let's see if anybody watched it and where they decided to take mercy on themselves and end the insanity.
All right, Jim. Well, I have the numbers here. AEW Dynamite on TBS, Wednesday, May 21st, 2025, 8 to 10:08 p.m. On average, watched by 575,000 viewers.
Ouch, I believe they were well over 600 last week, so for that big cage match, so they've gone back down to reality this week.
682 last week, 4-week average, 615. So down off both. Again, Knicks versus Pacers was on the sister channel, TNT. And of course, lots of other action-packed activities on TV.
Do you really think that people who are predisposed to watch the Knicks and the Pacers in the NBA Finals are also predisposed to watch Julia Hart and Mina Mellons?
Well, that was why during that match I ended up turning it off and going to the Knicks game, and I returned on DVR the next morning to see the end of the show.
Well, where did we start, Brian?
Well, the quarter-hour breakdown here, Jim. These were compiled by WrestleNomics. Quarter 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m., the Adam Page Will Ospreay live promo, 714,000 viewers.
Okay, and that is, again, as we've said, lower than they normally start at, but last week they started a little bit higher, but they kept it. I don't see how they're going to keep much of this and make their average, so I have a feeling that there will be some attrition going forward.
Well, we go to quarter 2, 8:15 to 8:30 p.m., the continuation of Page and Ospreay in the ring.
Longer.
And the start of Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks versus Swerve Strickland and the Ops with picture-in-picture, 644,000 viewers.
Well, there went 70,000 people, but normally when the Buckaroos appear on the screen, there's, for the next quarter, there's some element of channel changing, and they've already dropped quite a bit. Are they going further, or did they settle into a pattern here?
Well, we go to quarter 3, 8:30 to 8:45 p.m., continuation of Moxley and the Bucks versus Swerve and the Ops with picture-in-picture, 608,000 viewers.
Oh, okay. So just to clarify, they put in 2 of the EVPs, the Lollipop Guild, the Cucamonga Kids, and the world champion, Dick the Boozer. And on the opposite side was a former champion, Samoa Joe, and a former champion, Swerve Strickland, and poor old Hobbs. And that star power lost them 36,000 viewers.
Well, we go now.
Oogie doogie.
We go now to quarter 4, 8:45 to 9 p.m. The continuation of Moxley and the Bucks versus Swerve and the Ops. The post-match with the Death Riders, Kenny Omega, Willow Nightingale, and that's it. The MJF and the Hurt Syndicate and Smart Mark Sterling backstage angle, an ad break, and the start of the Hurt Syndicate MJF contract signing live angle.
Yeah, the backstage angle was just a promo where they said we're coming up on about to do the goddamn contract deal. So there was no angle involved, but it was the story.
627,000 viewers.
And there comes 19,000 poor souls back because all of a sudden here comes the Hurt Syndicate and MJF, I would imagine, because they're the only thing different than what people tuned out previously. But now we come to the top of the hour and the Hurt Syndicate MJF in the ring.
We come to the top of the hour, 9 to 9:15 p.m. And again, I think they were in the ring at the end of the previous quarter.
Yes.
The big 9 o'clock hour, the Hurt Syndicate, MJF, Mark Sterling, Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara live angle. The Okada backstage promo, an ad break, and the start of Ricochet versus Anthony Bowens
I must mention Okada now has unbleached his hair. It's brown hair, so he looks even more fucking like a normal schmo than he used to. And he didn't say bitch. So there you go.
557,000 viewers, bitch.
Oh, Christ. Well, that's 70,000 more people. Good heavens. One would suppose that after they saw Sammy and Dustin come out and or then went into the rest there, they're like, well, fuck it. I mean,
Maybe once they realized Black Adam wasn't coming on, they changed the channel.
Boy, that's disheartening.
Well, we go now to quarter 6, 9:15 to 9:30 p.m. The continuation of Ricochet versus Bowens with picture-in-picture, and the post-match with Mark Briscoe, followed by an ad break. 518,000 viewers.
Good night. They got to pick something up or they're not going to be able to make their average unless my math is off, but they've only got 2 quarters and an overrun. The overrun may be suspect, but go ahead.
We go now to quarter 7, 9:30 to 9:45 p.m. The Stokely Hathaway FTR backstage promo.
I didn't pay attention.
Followed by the Jamie Hayter Mercedes Moné live angle, and then an ad break. 501,000 viewers.
Okay. They're down 213,000 people, and they've got Mina Mellons and Julia coming up. So are they going under 400?
Well, again, a lot of competition. The Knicks. Well, we go now to quarter 8.
Fucking air, water.
We go now to quarter 8. I remind you, we have an 8-minute overrun. 9:45 to 10 p.m. Mina Shirakawa versus Julia Hart with picture-in-picture, and the post-match with Toni Storm. 495,000 viewers.
Wow.
8-minute overrun. The Young Bucks, Death Riders, The Ops, Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, Prince Nana, Gabe Kidd live angle. 455,000 viewers.
Oh, good Lord. They lost 40,000 people on the overrun with their big feature match for the pay-per-view. So that they lost 259,000 viewers in the course of the program. They started with 714, ended up with 455. That's 40% of the audience, approximately, that they started with, that they ended up with by the time the thing was over. And if we did the deal where we took out the first quarter number and we took out the overrun number to get their real viewership, that might help them this time. I think
that's crazy. Yeah, that's true.
Because the overrun used to artificially inflate the number. Now it's dragging it down.
Well, again, this doesn't include Max.
No, because MJF was watching another program too.
I don't mean as a Nielsen viewer. I mean it doesn't count the gigantic streaming numbers with Max.
Yet millions and millions of people on Max are, because it's the younger generation. It's what's hip with the cool kids and the hip cats. All righty, well, you know what the next program is that we're going to do. It's yours, and we're going to talk about Saturday night's main event and Double or Nothing. We know we're betting on nothing rather than double, and plus whatever else crazy stuff goes on in the world of wrestling over the next few days.
Yeah, something's got to happen. Tony Khan's been kind of quiet. He hasn't twerped off lately. Something's got to happen.
Well, if Tony twerps off, we will be there. Is he twerping or twerking?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not part of that.
Twerking Tony Khan. That could be a gimmick. He could come out bouncing his butt up and down.
No.
No?
No.
All right. MD hearing, folks, or $150 an ear for a nut or an ear or whatever.